It's not really possible to have a great hero without having an equally great villain, and this is something that J.K. Rowling knew and mastered perfectly. Throughout the series, we come across a lot of unique characters, some of which are good and some of them are bad. In today's video, I'm going to go over 9 of the most evil Harry Potter villains, but please keep in mind we have previously made a part 1 to this video a few months back, so if you think somebody should have been on this list and they're not, it's probably because they were in the first video. With that being said, please leave a like on today's video if you do enjoy, and subscribe to the channel and let us know you subscribed, as you could get a shout out at the end of the month.
Dumbledore is a great wizard, only a fool would question it.
Number 1. Starting off today's list, we have one of the most hated families, the Dursleys. The way that they treat Harry throughout his younger years really cannot be forgiven. This family are muggles, so they don't really understand all the magic stuff to do with Harry and Hogwarts, and this is why they're totally against him going, and mainly because they're just evil and didn't want Harry to be happy. There was no doubt about it that Dudley would always get what he wanted, and he would constantly bring Harry down, being a big bully. But his father was much worse. Vernon would rip Harry's letters up, burn them, and do whatever he could to make sure Harry wouldn't get to Hogwarts. Saying this though, at the end Dudley turned out alright, and he even says,
"I don't think you're a waste of space."
But his father on the other hand was always evil. Number 2. Next we have Narcissa Malfoy, who is a pureblood witch and the wife of Lucius Malfoy. Although she 100% supported her husband in being a Death Eater and supporting the Lord, she never actually became a Death Eater herself. In the end, her son's life was in danger and her husband was incarcerated in Azkaban, so she decided to protect her son by lying to Voldemort and taking the necessary measures she needed to take to protect her family. Lying to the Lord himself is something that takes pure guts, and in the end it actually helped Harry to defeat Voldemort, so I guess we could say that Narcissa can take the role of being the least evil Malfoy member. Number 3. Draco Malfoy, the arch nemesis of Harry Potter. He was quite annoying at the beginning because all he would do was make jokes about the Weasleys and poke fun at people who weren't pureblood. But he eventually became downright evil and decided to take Lord Voldemort's side and become a Death Eater just like his father. Still though, when watching the movies or reading the books, you get the sense that Draco isn't completely evil and that he's kind of in over his head.
I don't want your help. Don't you understand? I have to do this.
Number 4. Quirrell was a half-blood wizard who taught at school of Hogwarts. He was very easy manipulated though, and in the end completely submitted to the Lord himself, letting him live in the back of his head. Creepy, I know. Of course this meant that he became a follower of the Dark Lord, but he wasn't around for long because he was defeated in the Philosopher's Stone when trying to get rid of Harry Potter so he could get hold of the Philosopher's Stone. Number 5. The Gaunt family are pureblood and pure evil. They are crazy and creepy and downright pretty awful. They had the tendency to marry their cousins so that they could keep their pure blood and retain the traits of their ancestors, most notably the ability to speak Parseltongue. They were very wealthy and had descendants from many powerful witches and wizards, most notably Salazar Slytherin. Number 6. Coming in at the 6th spot in today's video, we have Nagini, the creepy creature who eats humans. Nagini was a female who was cursed to transform into a snake. She used to perform, but she was eventually trapped in her snake form and belonged to the Lord, eventually becoming a Horcrux. Voldemort's pet is pretty evil because she eats a ton of victims, but in the end she is killed by Neville and it is pretty epic. Number 7. Antonin Dolohov was a dark wizard and one of the original Death Eaters, and he was so evil that only Bellatrix Lestrange and Snape could come equal to his magic ability. During the First Wizarding War, he tortured many muggles, including witches and wizards who didn't support Lord Voldemort. He's also responsible for killing Professor Lupin during the Battle of Hogwarts, and that is something that fans cannot forgive, but he was eventually defeated by Filius Flitwick. Number 8. Augustus Rookwood is another dark wizard and a member of the Death Eaters. During the First Wizarding War, he was a spy who worked as an unspeakable in the Department of Ministries, but was later outed and taken to Azkaban. During the Battle of Hogwarts, his explosion killed Fred Weasley, and he was eventually defeated by Aberforth Dumbledore. Number 9. Last on today's list we have Fenrir Greyback, who was a werewolf notorious for his preference for attacking children. Although he wasn't considered a Death Eater, he did support the Dark Lord, and he became his ally during the Second Wizarding War. He is the one who infected Remus Lupin, all because his father insulted werewolves, and during the Battle of Hogwarts he was attacked by Lavender Brown and was captured by a blasting spell that Hermione cast, and was then hit by a crystal ball in the head by Professor Trelawney. In the second half of the battle, he was defeated in the Great Hall by Ron Weasley and Neville Longbottom, so props to those two. Well, there we have it, 9 of the most evil Harry Potter villains. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.